So about 2 months ago, just before the end of 2023 and right as we're about to go into 2024, I made a video about how I want to become rich, or about how I'm going to become rich in 2024. And I guess there hasn't been a whole lot of traction on that video, to be fair, but I more made it to just kind of keep myself in line and, to kind of hold myself to it. So I wanted to do a bit of a follow-up, just speak about kind of how things are going at the moment. Once again, just another raw video. And just how things have progressed, sorry, in the last 2 months. To be perfectly honest, not that much, but I'm going to run you through it anyways. So at the moment, I'm still working. As I mentioned, I work as a buyer's agent. I'm on a commission structure. I get paid a base salary, and I get paid a commission every time I exchange a contract. Once the property settles, I get a small portion of the overall fee that the client pays for us to purchase them an investment property. So that's how I make my living currently. But like I said, I'm trying to progress and, start trying to develop my own businesses in 2024. At the moment, I'm working on a dropshipping store, and I want to kind of just be open and honest with it at the moment. So I started this store just over a week ago. Today's a Tuesday. It was last Monday I launched the store, so just over a week. I have done $610 in sales US. Let me, you can see here. So that is for the month. You can see I have it on the timetable thing, but that is in the last week since I started it. I started it on the, I think, 19th or 20th. So yes, I've done $610 in sales, but to be completely honest with you, I've spent a grand total of $735 US on advertising. So all in all, with the cost of product as well, I have lost $275 US. And I guess, I don't know, I want to tell you guys this because you see a lot of these gurus and everything, trying to tell you that dropshipping is super easy. I have quite a good store. I actually had it built for me. I paid to have it built. I think it's quite a good product. It seems to be a winning product. I think it is going to go well, and I am going to be able to scale it, and I'm working on that at the moment. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's actually quite difficult to get one of these stores off the ground and get them profitable. I've had profitable days, and I've had days where I've taken a loss, and I've had days where I've kind of broken even. All in all, been taking a little bit of a loss, but I'm happy to do that because I'm collecting data at the moment, and overall I want to scale this up with lookalike audiences and yada yada yada. But we'll go from there. I'm just trying to get a little bit more data. I've only had about 16 orders or so far. So we're going to go from there. Aside from that, I have another product I'm working on, which is actually a customized product. I think I mentioned it in the last video. And I will be getting the samples for that in the next few days. They're on their way from China. So pretty excited about that. That's going to be another e-commerce brand that I'm going to launch. That one's going to be a little bit different. It's going to take a little more time and money to get that off the ground. That's something that I would need to purchase stock for and have it shipped out either by some sort of distribution company, or I can potentially work something out with the supplier for some kind of made to order with express shipping, pay a little bit more. I don't know what I'm going to do yet because the product has quite a few variants, and anyway, that's for a later date. But that's what I'm working on at the moment. I've always got things running and kind of ticking over in my brain. Aside from that, I do own an investment property, as I mentioned before. It is overall quite negatively geared. It cost me about $10,000 Australian or so per year net. Like that's a negative $10,000 net. But overall, it seems to be growing quite well. The unit underneath mine just sold for about $100,000 more than I bought my property for around a year and a half ago. They're quite comparable, so I'd say my property is roughly grown around $80,000 to $100,000, which is good. And I'm kind of in two minds at the moment on whether to continue investing in property. Obviously, that's something I do for a living and something I'm quite passionate about, or just trying to save up a bit of money and trying to build these businesses, and trying to get more of a cash flow kind of coming through, whether that be invest in more property, more kind of cash flowing properties like overseas villas, for example, and Airbnbs down the track, or whether that means purchasing more properties in Australia to try and get that overall growth for the future. Um, I've kind of been umming and ahhing about that recently because, it's always something I've been passionate about, building that, property portfolio for the future. But I've started thinking lately, how does that actually benefit your life right now, and how does that affect your lifestyle right now? It actually makes your lifestyle a lot worse. You have less money to play with, you've got less money to spend, and you actually have to cut costs in other places to pay for these properties in the hopes that they do grow, which they will. But you're kind of setting yourself up for retirement, and you're not really living your life so much as what you could with something that was generating more of a passive income. But anyway, like I said, I'm just kind of talking to the camera. These are the things I think about a lot. Aside from that, that's pretty much how things are going at the moment. From a work perspective, work's going quite well. As I mentioned, I get paid per exchange. I've got a couple of contracts coming in this week, which is good. My KPI is only to hit one exchange per week, but I'm kind of aiming to hit around 3 a week, which is quite good. Essentially, if I hit 2 a week, I basically double my regular salary, essentially, which is quite a fair salary as it stands anyway. And it is kind of, even the salary alone is over kind of the average in Australia, which is great. So it is quite a good position that I'm in at the moment, and it gives me a bit of money to put aside to try and test with things like this, which is why I'm not so worried about losing a little bit of money on the kind of dropshipping store at the moment. Obviously, I'm still in the testing phase, and I'm hoping that when I start scaling it and kind of refining that audience a little bit more, I'll be able to grow it. But I'd love to hear your thoughts if anyone's out there who has tried dropshipping or maybe even had a bit of success with it. Always open to hearing about that. But yeah, that's pretty much how life's going at the moment. We're still setting goals, not quite crushing them yet. Fitness goals I have as well. I'm trying to put on a bit of weight at the moment, as you can see. Quite a skinny boy. But that's it. That's my life update at the moment. And we're still working. We're still going to crush it. And we're just trying to grow these businesses and replace that income from work. I think there's a lot to be said about getting comfortable in a position at work. I've always said never get comfortable because it makes it difficult to leave eventually, and you don't want that. So it is good in a way that I'm now earning the most money I've ever earned from a work perspective, but it also gives you a lot more comfort. You get comfortable, and when you get comfortable, it's very difficult to move on. And also, when you extend your income quite substantially, it kind of, you get that stuck in your head, and then for you to quit your job, you need to replace this new income. Whereas last year it may have been, oh, okay, I need to get myself to $5,000 a month. That will replace my income, and then I can quit my job. Now this year it might be totally different. I need to get to $10,000 a month, or I need to get to $15,000 a month, whatever it may be. And then you kind of get stuck in this vicious cycle. But it's not the way, and I'm trying to get my head around that at the moment. I think I still need to go back to earlier years and say, look, I've got to get to $5,000-$6,000 a month. If I can get that passively, that would put me in a position to where I could move on to other things and start pursuing the things that I really want to do. And what I want to do is not work a 9-to-5 job where I'm kind of stuck in the office, and that is all my life is. I think it's not so much about the money; it's about the freedom. If I could make less money but be free and living it up, and maybe even living over in Bali. I just got back from a trip over to Bali with my girlfriend, and we loved it there. And that's what I've been thinking about lately. But that's my life so far. I'm going to close this off because I could ramble all day. I don't mind quite, just sitting here talking to the camera. I'm also talking to my girlfriend's phone because I had to show you the Shopify data on my phone. Kind of gets your thoughts out there a little bit. But I'm going to go eat some dinner and then maybe go for a run. And then I'm going to watch a movie later. And that's it. Tune in for the next one. And thanks to everyone who's been blowing up my one short that's ever taken off that's completely not relevant to any sort of content I've ever made of me cooking on a frying pan, and it's got like 3 million views. So shout out to that, because now I've got like 800 subscribers that are probably never going to see this video. But thank you, and tune in for the next one. I'll give you guys another update next month. I was a bit slack with it. I wanted to do an update at least once a month, but maybe I'll do another one in a couple of weeks. I'm trying to keep myself on track, and this helps. Thank you.